Got at her bachelorette party, so I vanished quietly before the wedding and what? Hello everyone. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's begin the video. Using a throwaway for obvious reasons with certain specifics modified to preserve anonymity. My got at her bachelorette bash, so I quietly disappeared before the wedding. What happened next left everyone stunned. I'm 32, a guy, and I was supposed to get married last weekend to my Lisa, 29, and we'd been together for 3 years, living together most of that time. I believed she was the one. We'd been together for 5 years total and our relationship seemed solid. Or so I thought. Lisa went on her bachelor trip to Miami with 7 friends 2 weekends before the wedding. I wasn't worried. We trusted each other completely. I figured they'd have some drinks, hit the clubs, maybe see a male stripper, typical bachelorette stuff. I even dropped her off at the airport, kissed her goodbye, and told her to have fun. While she was gone, I hung out with my buddies. Finalized some wedding details and picked up my tux. Everything felt normal. She kept texting me throughout the trip, saying how much fun they were having, how she missed me, the usual. She came back Sunday night looking tired but happy, saying they'd had a blast and she was glad to be home. Then Wednesday night, 3 days before our wedding, I got a strange text from an unknown number. The message said, "You should see what you did at her bachelorette party. She's not who you think she is." It had a video attached. At first, I almost deleted it, thinking it was spam or some scam. But something made me open it. What I saw crushed me. It was Lisa with 2 guys in what appeared to be a hotel room. They were both doing things to her, not drunk or out of her mind. She was actively participating, encouraging them. At one point, she looked at the camera, smiled, and said, "What happens in Miami stays in Miami, right?" Then laughed. I watched that whole video 3 minutes and 42 seconds. That tore apart my relationship and the future I had envisioned. I felt sick to my stomach. I did. Confront her right away. I needed to think. I spent the night in our spare bedroom claiming I wasn't feeling well. The next morning, while she was at her final dress fitting, I called my best man, Tony, and showed him the video. He was just as shocked as I was. I needed someone else to confirm what I'd seen. "What are you going to do?" he asked. "I'm not getting married," I replied. Thursday, I packed a few essentials while she was out with her mom. I left her a note that simply said, "I know what happened in Miami. The wedding is off," and I left my key and her engagement ring on top. Then I moved into Tony's place temporarily and turned off my phone. I couldn't handle the fallout right then. When I turned it back on Saturday morning, what should have been our wedding day, I saw I had 47 missed calls and over 60 texts from Lisa, her family, and some friends. Lisa's texts ranged from confusion, "Where are you?" to panic, "Please call me," to admitting mistakes, "I made a terrible error. Please let me explain," to outright anger, "I can't face you," and begging I'll do anything to fix this. Her parents called too. They were furious that I left their daughter, then confused once they learned the real reason. Apparently, Lisa finally told them after she couldn't reach me. I sent a group message to our guests. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the wedding was canceled and I apologized for the inconvenience. Then I messaged Lisa, "There's nothing to discuss, it's over. It's been a week now. I've moved out, started separating our lives." I blocked Lisa everywhere, but she keeps finding ways to contact me. She claims it was a stupid, drunken mistake that meant nothing. She was caught up in the moment, pressured by her friends. But I saw that video. She wasn't that drunk. She knew exactly what she was doing. Her cousin, who wasn't at the bachelor party, reached out yesterday. Said Lisa is a wreck, barely eating, crying constantly. She begged me to talk to her. I told her no. Maybe I should have confronted Lisa face to face instead of leaving, but I couldn't bear to look at her knowing what she did. The thought of standing at the altar, promising trust and fidelity, when she'd already broken those vows, that was too much. I know some say I was harsh just walking away like this, but how do you come back from it? How could I ever trust her again? The woman I loved betrayed me the worst possible way just before we were supposed to say our vows. The pain and shame are overwhelming. I don't know what's next, I'm just taking it day by day. Update 1, and it's been a couple of weeks. Thanks for all the support and advice. It's helped more than I can say. I found out who sent me the video. Lisa's ex-best friend. She broke up with her boyfriend, one of the guys from Miami, and apparently he'd been bragging about what happened. Saw the video on his phone and decided to send it to me anonymously. Honestly, I'm grateful she did. Lisa keeps trying to reach me. She even showed up at my new apartment, crying and begging for a chance to explain. I let her in that time, tired of her causing scenes outside. Truth is, her explanation was what I expected. She's sorry, says it was just physical, it didn't mean anything, she loves me, it was a mistake. All the classic excuses cheaters use. But what shocked me more was what she admitted, the truth of what really happened. She confessed they were all at a club and her friends encouraged her to have one last fling. She admitted those weren't random guys. They were guys they'd met the night before and hung out with all weekend. She swore it was just a one-time thing, but then broke down and said she'd made out with one of them the previous night. The more she talked, the clearer it became. This wasn't just a spur-of-the-moment drunken slip-up. It was planned with flirting and deliberate choices made over several days. The worst part, some of her bridesmaids, not even just friends but women we considered friends, actually filmed it. When I pointed that out, she got defensive, saying, "It's normal to have a last hurrah before marriage. Lots of people do it." That's when I lost it. Normal. You think betraying someone you claim to love is normal? Participating in a threesome a week before our wedding on camera, that's normal. She started crying harder, saying I was cruel and unforgiving. She argued that if I loved her, I'd understand it was just a mistake and she deserved a second chance. I couldn't believe her. "If you really loved me, you wouldn't have fed two guys at your bachelor party," I spat. She left after that, but not before she said something chilling. "You'll regret throwing away everything we built over one mistake." It didn't sound remorseful, it sounded like a threat. Sure enough, she's now telling mutual friends I was controlling and emotionally abusive, that I abandoned her without giving her a chance to explain. That's total BS. She's playing the victim, pretending I just up and left. And some friends are even on her side now, saying I should forgive her. Financial chaos is still ongoing. We're fighting over who pays what for the wedding costs. Her parents paid most deposits, but the final payments, due the week before the wedding, came from our joint account. She's demanding I pay her back my half since I called everything off. I refused. No way I'm paying for a wedding she ruined with her cheating. I've spoken to a lawyer. The house deal fell through, which turned out to be for the best. I've moved into a new apartment I actually like better. The social fallout continues. Her bridesmaids are spreading stories, twisting things to make me look like a villain. But now fewer people believe her version. Some of her old friends, including her cousin, have apologized, admitted she filmed the video and regrets encouraging Lisa. She said there was a ton of cocaine involved that weekend, which Lisa never mentioned. Not that it excuses her actions, but it adds context. Also confirmed that this was Lisa's first affair. There was an incident 2 years ago with again, covered up by her friends. That hit me hard, seeing that patterns of cheating and deception weren't just one-time mistakes. If she'd been honest early on, maybe we could work through it. But those repeated acts and betrayal right before the wedding destroyed any trust left. Now I see I made the right call ending it. I'm doing better. Therapy helps. I took a solo trip to Colorado, spent 2 weeks hiking, reconnecting with myself. I've been working out, catching up with old friends I drifted from during my relationship, and even casually dating. Nothing serious yet. I need the time to heal. The biggest concern right now, what if the baby really is mine? I've scheduled a paternity test. If it's mine, my life will change drastically. If it's not, I'll breathe easier, but I'll still feel terrible for the child who will grow up in this mess. I can't imagine co-parenting with someone who betrayed me so thoroughly. Lisa believes the pregnancy is a game changer. She actually suggested we try again, for the sake of the child. I told her it's never happening. The relationship is over, paternity test or not. Her family, who once lambasted me, are now trying to support her. Her dad caused a scene at my office demanding I take responsibility for the costs. Security had to escort him out. My lawyer confirms I'm not responsible. Our wedding was still just an idea when she cheated. The financial mess is finally settling. I paid more than I wanted, less than she demanded. The house deal is dead, thankfully. I found a better apartment anyway. Her bridesmaids continue their smear campaign, but fewer believe her. The truth tends to surface. Some friends have reached out, admitting they misunderstood or didn't know the full story, finally speaking out after hearing the real story from others at the party. Even called me to apologize, admitting she filmed the video and regrets it. She said there was a lot of coke involved, that weekend got out of control. She also confirmed that Lisa had cheated before, about 2 years ago, with and her friends covered it up. Knowing that confirmed my suspicion that this wasn't just a one-time slip-up, it was a recurring pattern. If she'd been honest early, maybe things could have been different. But her pattern of deception and betrayal sealed the deal. As for me, I'm healing. The therapy is working. Taking the trip helped a lot. I'm now focused on my job, my hobbies, and reconnecting with friends I lost during the chaos. I even started dating casually, nothing serious. The biggest unknown is the pregnancy. If the baby's mine, life will shift again. If not, I can breathe a little easier. I'm gearing up for the paternity test, just trying to keep things simple and focus on moving forward. And then, 6 months later, got the results. The baby isn't mine. I'm not surprised, but man, it's a strange mix of relief and sadness. Part of me had already started imagining being a dad, despite everything. Lisa's reaction was heartbreaking. She broke down, crying, saying she'd hoped the baby was mine because she thought it might fix us. She confessed she'd suspected it might be one of the Miami guys, but convinced herself it was mine to avoid facing the truth. I felt sorry for her at first, but then remembered all the lies, manipulation, and shame she'd put me through. Their family guilt-tripped me, called me names, labeling me a deadbeat, a coward. When I finally confronted Lisa about story, she initially then broke down and admitted it was true. That there was a nightstand with her 2 years ago, another drunken mistake she kept hidden because she didn't want to hurt me. She also admitted other past infidelities, another incident about a year into the relationship kept from me. Turns out, she cheated at least 3 times I know of. Who knows how many other times her friends don't know about. If she'd come clean earlier, maybe we could at least try to fix it. But her pattern of lies and the ultimate betrayal just shattered whatever trust remained. She told me she'd reached out to both Miami guys when she got pregnant. One blocked her right away. The other, who's married, is divorcing her. His wife found out. Maybe from the video or some other way. She's demanding her rights, but he wants nothing to do with the kid aside from court-ordered support. Her life has spun out of control. Her family has distanced themselves. Her career's taken hits. She took leave for mental health struggles, pregnancy issues, and struggles with her reputation. Some say I should feel triumphant, but I don't. I mostly feel sadness for the years I wasted, for the future that's shattered, and for the innocent child caught in the chaos. Mostly I feel relief that I learned her true nature before walking down the aisle. No longer bound by her lies, I can finally move forward. I've got a stable job, a fresh apartment, and new relationships. I recently got a promotion and I've reconnected with friends I'd lost. I even started dating someone new, nothing serious yet, but she's understanding and patient. Financially, things are settling. The lawyer got everything sorted and I paid my share of the wedding costs. Julia finally collected her belongings from storage last week. Now there are no ties, and I still grab coffee sometimes. We've become genuine friends after sharing this nightmare. She's dating someone new, happy, and we joke about how we should thank her for unintentionally bringing us together. Perhaps this is the last update. Julia made her choices, and now she lives with the consequences. I've made peace with what happened and am focused on rebuilding my life. Honestly, I'm grateful for that anonymous message in the video. Without it, I might still be married to her, clueless about who she really was. Instead, I'm free to pursue real happiness with someone trustworthy. For anyone going through something similar, just know it gets better. The pain fades, and sometimes the worst betrayals open doors to incredible new beginnings. Final note: a year later, I wasn't planning to post again, but something happened that felt like proper closure. Life's good, even great. The promotion I mentioned paid off, and I've traveled extensively. Japan, Portugal, Argentina, all unforgettable. I've been reconnecting with myself and living more fully. The woman I'm dating now, Melissa, entered my life unexpectedly. Things got serious fast, but in a way I never planned. She's honest, direct, supportive, everything Julia was. We've been together 8 months now, and I've never felt more secure. She knows my story, and she's patient with my trust issues. I've avoided Lisa completely. I hear occasional updates through mutual friends, but haven't seen her in months. She has a son, and her family helps her, but she's struggling with single motherhood and the fallout. Turns out, the Miami guy finally got a paternity test. He's the father but refuses to be involved beyond court support. Last week, I ran into Lisa at a downtown coffee shop. Didn't recognize her at first. She looked tired, thinner, her hair short. The confident woman I once loved was gone. She spotted me and we stared silently for a while. Then she asked if we could talk. Against my better judgment, I sat down. She looked me in the eye, tears in her eyes, and said, "I'm sorry, not just for what I did, but for how I handled everything afterward. You deserve better. I was selfish and stupid, destroyed what we had." Her apology felt genuine, not like her typical blame shifting. She accepted responsibility without excuses. She told me about her life now, struggling with being a single mom, enduring judgment from those who know what happened, losing friends and respect. Her parents are moving closer to help with the kid. Her career's slowly recovering, and she's in therapy, trying to understand why she sabotaged her happiness. The hardest part. She admitted she knew she hurt someone who loved her. She said, "I don't need to forgive her, but I should know she regrets everything daily." I didn't say much. What could I say? The anger I once had was long gone, replaced by indifference and a vague sadness. I told her I appreciated her apology and wished her well. As I left, she asked, "Are you happy?" I thought of Melissa, my job, my travels, my life now. "Yes," I said, "I am." She nodded and gave a sad little smile. "Good, you deserve that." That 5-minute talk gave me more closure than all the therapy I've had. It wasn't about forgiving her. I already moved past that. It was about her finally accepting what she did and acknowledging the damage. Walking away from that coffee shop, I felt like a weight lifted, no more resentment or anger. Just calm acceptance that sometimes people make choices that change everything forever, and all we can do is adapt and move forward. A couple of nights ago, I sat on my balcony watching the sunset with Melissa. I realized something. I'm grateful for everything that happened. Not because Julia deserved her downfall, not because I enjoy her struggles, but because that painful chapter set me free. By trying to ruin me, she actually freed me to find genuine happiness elsewhere. That's it, the final chapter of a story I never thought I'd be part of. To everyone who followed and supported, thank you. To those experiencing something similar, hang in there. The pain will fade. Sometimes, the worst betrayals lead directly into a new, better life that you never expected. Thanks for sticking with me through this.